Oh, hello and welcome to Europa Universalis 4. This is one of the new series I'm starting, and right now half my screen is off to the left, going off the screen. That's because I had to do some tweakings because I tested this yesterday. Now I'm going to talk about how this series can quickly end. Because the other series I want to do, I'm going to start early next week. It's installed, ready to go. It's just I've postponed it early next week so that I can start this one off, and this is where I'm going to get to how the series can end. Just quickly get out of the way. So there's 5 ways it can end. I can either get conquered and just be like, well, shit. I can conquer myself and be like, well, or just conquer everyone, but okay, that was that. Get just outright bored. Paradox, the developers can then either release an update or a patch, and then it makes this outdated and obsolete. It will no longer work, and you have to start anew. Or it could just be very bad from your perspective, because I tested this yesterday and it's like, hey, this runs fine. I've murdered the graphics. That's why my screen is sort of off the monitor, and you know, I had to butcher the graphics so it could run, because first I was like, oh, okay, this was alright, but then I was like, actually I haven't ran the days yet, the game isn't actually running. So I then clicked, you know, next day, you know, let the days 2, 3, 4, you know, February, let the time go by, and then like the frames went from like 30, a stable 30, to just crashed and died, and it was a massacre. But nonetheless, get the show on the road. So yeah, I don't know how long this will go on for, but we will see. So we've got, so I will be playing as a custom nation. I'm going to sort of go for some colonialism, you know, sort of go out to the new world, oppress the natives as you do, and all that good stuff. And I've got 3 mods installed. I have, you know, as you can obviously see if you're familiar with this game, I've got a graphical map improvement, so it, you know, looks nice and different. And so I have new colonial regions, so places like North Africa, Southeast Asia, South Asia, Middle East, you know, Japan and China and East Asia, they're all colonial regions, so I can form colonies there, which is nice. So it's all nice and good. And the third one is extended timeline. As you probably would have noticed on the left, there was all like different dates and stuff. Like, and as you saw when I started, there was like the Roman, like Rome, essentially the Roman Empire. Yeah, I'm gonna probably change this to sort of maybe Kingdom of Esmania. The Kingdom of Esmania. Yep, some nice names. Alright, so yeah, we want colonists. I don't know if I can have more colonists for ideas. Nope. So I sort of want a good economy as well as a good army. Trade efficiency is good. Spin colonial range is good. I want to think I might. I'm gonna swap these around. Where is it? Colonial range. Yep, morale of armies. Let's see what other stuff. Organization. I'm going to sort of go for like the British Empire 19th century strategy of sort of perfect isolation, you know, sort of let Europe do its thing, get fisticuffed with one another, while I sort of get my, you know, little magnifying or like little periscope, whatever, pull it out, you know, and look off into the seas, into the new world. No, I think this is good. Got some good colonial bonuses, some tax modifier. I think we are all good. Oh yes, damn, that's actually a bit too much. So I'm gonna have to cut something down. Probably. Well, that worked out more expensive. Okay. Morale of navies, you're gonna have to take some penalty. Oh, there we go. Morale of armors, I think you're gonna have to. No, I guess not. This is not good. Where's my air? Knock him down a bit. And then, rather not do that. I knocked morale of navies right down. Oh, I think we'll just go for a really bad air. That'll do, a few points short. And we'll go off and explore this new world. Well, when we get the technology, I wanted to have a really good like 666, because then I can get that sort of positive 9, like positive 9 administration, diplomacy and military, like every month. So I can sort of very quickly with administration diplomacy get the points when I have the time needed, so I can sort of then get the tech to get that, you know, sort of colonialism, so I can go out and explore the new world and stuff like that, get conquistadors and explorers. So yeah, she's like, hey, it runs fine, but as soon as I press that pause button, ooh. So rivals, who hates us? Burgundy. Burgundy hates us, Denmark hates us, and Sweden hates us. They normally love me, but in this case, I have no idea why they hate me. Probably because I'm Protestant. Don't care about this stuff. Don't really care about that. Care about none of these. I think first thing I will nab is stability. I think that will give us a little boost in our little tax. So right now, yeah, it went from 30 to like, yeah, from about 8. So I don't know if this will continue, because I was like, yeah, this will be fine, and then when I tested it, I just saw how much the frames just got murdered, and it was bad. I was like, ah. Hope the next game I'm going to start next week is not going to be as bad as this. But I do have 2 colonists, but as of this, ooh. Haha, too far away. Wow, I'm short by like 3 points. Like, I'm short by like 3 range. Damn. What's the... Just sure, maybe 1450 was a bit too early. If I scrap early religious... Okay. We don't have the tech yet. go for early defensive. I swear by 1450 we had the tech, so that's the first fuck up on my part there. So how are we doing? We're looking okay if we'll get positive stability. Because you just sometimes you just get a random event where it's like, oh, you like stability? Well, too bad. And then your stability will just go down. You lose stability from just a random shite event. So it's sort of nice to accumulate that, but that's going to be difficult. Because, you know, we're going to progress with research. Like technology. These are like, we're going to get to that point where we have enough tech. And be like, ah, okay. I think when we get this one, I think we'll be able to do it. I think it was like 1475, I think, is when you're in the clear. I think Castille though in Portugal, but hey, colonialism. They can just do it in no time. Because they were the sort of first to actually sort of start colonising. I think some like Scandinavians did that where they grabbed Norway and even at one point popped to Greenland. I mean like Iceland and then popped to Greenland, and I think even one point went to Canada, like North America, but they sort of left after hostile run-ins with the natives. But yeah, like it's going to be, early on it's going to be quite difficult to sort of keep my stability up, get it to maximum of 3, sort of fun, keep the technology up so I don't sort of become basically the native like barbarian backward civilization of Europe. And also be able to get the exploration and expansion, of which them 2 ideas will give me colonists, and like the exploration for the New World, which will give me explorers and conquistadors, and basically let me go out into the open seas and, you know, start exploring. So I think what I'm going to do is save up for the tech. Yeah, I've got positive 9. So that's good. So that means I'm gonna accumulate it much faster. That's sort of why I didn't want to sort of penalise too much my heirs' stats, because if my current ruler dies, I want some good, you know, I want that still that decent income. Hopefully, when eventually my current ruler does die, I would have had enough. Like I've got decent stability and I've got the 2 ideas that I want, and I'm already sort of colonising, and I've got decent up-to-date tech. So I think last time I did something like this, I was falling behind in technology with administration and diplomacy, but I was like the most advanced in like the whole world in like military, because I wasn't spending any military points. All my military power was going towards military technology, whilst diplomacy and administration was like going towards the expansion and the exploration ideas, which I think when I hit 50 I'll unlock. I think. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, I might have to restart some sort of a colonial buff in this. So why should I fight my neighbours when I can just colonise and, you know, take that free land from the natives? Because many times where I've gone and steamrolled my neighbours, but yeah, take that, and I've just got more vision. A lot more of the world's just revealed. Can't even grab that. Damn, my colonial range is pretty bad. There's... And I even got the buff as well. Should yeah. Oh, hello. Gain 1 stability, yeah, sure, I was thinking. I think you can get positive stability events like that, but it's usually the negative you usually get. That was really good, a free stability right there. So I've got colonial buffs, I've got like 2 starting colonialists. I have got global settler increase, or when I colonise a province, you'll sort of have a higher chance of getting more settlers turning up to that colony. And I also nabbed this, the I think it reduces the travel distance, you know, and basically increases my colonial range. Obviously that's basically done fuck all though. Makes you think, if I can't even colonise that, could I even colonise Greenland? I can see the coast, but I don't think I can explore the coast. If I started off in Norway, I would have had shite base tax, but I would have seen Greenland and I could have colonised it. Thing is though, colonialism can be quite tough, because when you colonise a province, at some point you're going to get the natives rise up, and if there's like below 100 settlers in that colony, then they'll all just die. If you've got like hundreds of settlers there, and the natives do successfully siege it, it'll kill a bunch of the settlers, but it won't wipe out the colony. But it is just normally best when you colonise a province, and you started colonising it, and it sort of turns your border colour, just send a few thousand troops out, so like say like 3,000 to 4,000 men, maybe 5, and just camp them there. Just let them sit there, because when the natives rise up, they're the attacking force, the ones that have attacked, and so they suffer the attacking penalties, like crossing a river or something like that, and your defending troops get the defending bonuses, like, you know, mountainous terrain or something like that. And plus you're more technology advanced as well, so if you have good discipline and good stats for your troops, then that's even more the merrier. I usually like use like 100 troops usually, or just like less than that, when defending against uprising natives. How are you, France? Neutral. I noticed England are still around, because they have Calais and these territories further down. I would befriend them, but you know, I'd rather let Europe do its thing, the rest of Europe do whatever, because I sort of don't want to get involved with, like, you know, just being like, hey, I'll be friends of England, and then France is like, we want these are our territory, and England calls me into a war against France, and I'd rather not get involved in that mess. Just gonna quickly name my armies. I think I'm gonna make this one huge fleet, because it's all different ships. Yeah, you'll be first fleet for now. Oh, that wasn't capitalised. I sort of normally make my country a bit smaller, but I need the base tax is good. Base tax is very good. It's nice to have that, because I'm not like, hey, I'll be like Ireland or or grab Iceland and start sort of try and colonise, because I'll be much closer to this side then. I've closer colonial range to North America, or the Americas in general. But you tend to suffer from base tax, because if I can check, it's sort of England that has the sort of best, like it's got like sort of best manpower. It's got better development. It's sort of more luxurious. It sort of has better, there's more money there. There's like better base tax. It's where all the manpower is, because these are sort of like more sparsely populated and far up in the north and colder, and So it's like round here, it's like in these sort of like territories where there's like sort of inland Europe more, where you sort of got like all the wealth. Which is why if you try and build a custom nation, so like just like try and make a huge empire in Europe, I'm like, I can do it for custom nation. Unless you've got like some form of cheat mod, good luck with that, because these are not cheap provinces, they're super expensive. If you want to build a big nation, it's much easier to sort of might do Russia, like grab all the provinces like from here and head east, because there's a lot of large provinces and you can just build this huge massive nation, because they don't cost a lot of points to take, but just be known that it's sort of like you don't have much base tax. Well, you got decent base tax, you can survive, but the terrain's not that good, because I've marched troops before like to fight China or something like that, and I'll suffer from huge attrition because of the terrain, and thousands upon thousands of troops die, and then your manpower's like, oh, it's 0. But going for this nice little isolation is good, because, you know, I get to develop manpower, you know, I get to accumulate money. I've got that positive 11, which ain't too bad. So I'm sitting here generating money and just enjoying isolation, not having friends. I'd rather not have friends. If there's going to be any friends, it's going to be protectorates and vassals. I can oversee territories. I may be having some protectorates or vassals around the Middle East. Things like that. I wonder if I could vassalize England. I can't. Maybe if I improved, recover Normandy, eh? Maybe if I improved relations with them, then it won't be too bad. Oh damn! I'm literally enemies with Denmark, Sweden, and Burgundy. Not only I rival them, they rival me as well. Thankfully, though, this is like sort of bitch mode easy, so they're not going to declare war, as far as I know. They're not going to sort of be like, hey, we're going to kill you now. How does it feel? I might, if I'm going to colonise Africa, that's going to be a much later date when I'm more prepared to colonise it, where I can send troops to occupy the provinces I colonise. Because Africa's a lot more aggressive when it comes to that. Well, I've sort of gone to colonise it, and much larger native armies rise up to that, and compared to that of America. A lot, you have like tons rise up in like near enough every single province. It's much, even like here, if you're gonna grab these two, you're prepared to send loads of troops, because you're gonna have a bad time colonising that province. I think it's time to speed things up a bit. Gonna let it sit and not move around, because otherwise the frames will crash. But I can run this game practically fine normally, with high, nice, decent resolution, and the trees and the reflection and the water and the ambience. But obviously when you try and record it with fraps, it's like, no. Funny guy. But my main focus will be North America. If I can at some point, I'll probably start sweeping up some turf in Brazil and the Caribbean, because I think the colonial range with them is much, or like you can colonise them much quicker, like the coast of Brazil and Colombia and the Caribbean. You can colonise them much faster than I think in any other North American territories besides Greenland and sort of northern eastern parts of the coast of Canada. They're sort of like the quickest place where it sort of like takes like 100+ days to quickly just nab, whereas all the others will start taking like 200, and then as you go inland it's going to get more and more. So if there's territories where I can like nab really quickly, where it's going to be like Oh, it's only going to be like 100 days, even though I'm focusing colonising this territory. I think, no, I'll start colonising here because, no, it's not going to take too long. And I can establish like another colony and sort of grab this land before France, Castille or Portugal can, or Denmark even. Not going to, I guess, worry about England because it's already found itself in a war with France. And Burgundy and Navarre. Or Navarra, rather. The Navarran conquest of La yeah. Proven relations? Kingdom. Proven relations with me. What's this? Defender of the faith, eh? It will give me one missionary. Good morale for the army and the navy. Unfortunately, I've lost a lot of morale for the navy. Well, I've still got a bit of bonus, but... Nah. Technology costs, nah. I'd like to go for that and show it off, but yeah. But... probably not the best. When I get enough church power, I'm going for a global settler increase. That's the next thing I'm gonna... That's what I'll grab when I get enough church power. Well, I'd like to be a defender of the faith. I have to say no to that. First of all, it's going to cost me a bomb. I'd rather save that money. I would sort of also not like to take that technology penalty, because that's going to be a huge focus. Because if I want to start colonising, I'm going to need that technological boost. I'm going to need that good tech. If man is to get anywhere, and 2 years have already passed. So, getting there. How are we doing? We're getting there. Hopefully that next idea group will open the gates to colonialism. Hopefully. Hopefully. Because I'm sure I've done 1450 before and got access to colonialism. Oh, oh, England is still alive though. Now I probably could vassalise them. Oh no, they're in a personal union under France. Because I'm sort of like a British patriot, I sort of like go for the British Isles. And sometimes, especially at this early sort of colonial date, sort of England sort of has Calais and a few other territories, but so I pretty much end up just now I've just sort of boned England. They love me, yay! Can I like sort of support independence? No, guess I love France at the moment then. But I've also got the English Parliament as well. I can someday form the British nation, but I don't think Great Britain was formed until something like 1717, something like that. Early 1700s, and then Ireland joined it, making it the United Kingdom. So like Great Britain of like England, Scotland and Northern Ireland, or Ireland, that sort of came around. I think that was sort of early 1800s, like maybe 1807 or something like that. Although unfortunately with you have with the British flag, it has St George's and St Andrew's cross, but I don't think it has the Irish St Patrick's cross. Like, even though the vanilla date goes to 1821. Oh no. Great. Even though it goes to 1821, and I think Ireland's joined the UK and made it Great Britain. Oh, that's the time. Britain doesn't get its flag updated. And great, what a way to end this. Unhappiness among the artisans. Conflicts and protests over taxes, corporations, trade and customs policies are becoming quite frequent, and it could result in a sharp drop in our industrial production if we don't handle the situation carefully. I'll lose the money. Money I'd rather not lose, but if it makes the peasants happy and doesn't fuck my base income tax, then I'm all happy for it. Well, that was our first part of Kingdom of Sman in Europa Universalis 4, where we're gonna go down the path of our colonial ambition and colonise the New World and establish a powerful empire. But first we've actually got to get the tech, and that could be very soon, unless that next idea group doesn't give us clones, but I think it will. I think that next idea group will give us actually quite a few, because it's sort of around mid-late 1400s where Castile and Portugal did start colonising, I think. Like, they already have like the Azores and some islands sort of northwest of North Africa. So, and I think in a few decades, I think Castile start actually colonising mainland Africa as well as Portugal, and that's sort of when the slave trade starts. And then a few decades later, they'll start appearing up in the Caribbean and South Central America. But yeah, don't you know what I think of this series? It's going to run alongside Morrowind in the next series of or the next game I'll start next week. So I don't know what you'll think, but yeah, hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.